Welcome back, everyone. We are the Real Marks of Long Island. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that your fellow marks might be matching for some reason, and you might see something new on the layout, but we will get to that a little later in this show. But another big week in wrestling, I should say. I feel like I always say that. I think wrestling is just high after high after high. I can't complain with what's going on in the world. There are some things that I would change and some things that frustrate me, but overall, wrestling has been killing it. And we're going to do something we don't usually do and start with AEW because WrestleDream, they kind of slap, man. I don't know, Justin, how did you feel about WrestleDream?
Yeah, WrestleDream was, so the way I put it is AEW, you know, like how everyone says Tony Khan loves to show off and put on those 5-star matches, right? So that's pretty much what it kind of felt like to me. It was just a bunch of like dream matches. It's WrestleDream, but a bunch of dream matches all put together on one card. The show was 5.5 hours. Craziness. And I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know how it would feel sitting there for 5.5 hours, but I enjoyed the show a lot. And my boy Will Ospreay, although we'll get into it, he put out that match was awesome.
And Court, we've talked about this in the past. AEW's, I guess, lack of controlling the time frame of their shows. Do you think personally? I'm not going to give my opinion, but do you think that's a lack of control of matching and storylines, or do you think they just want to put on the best show possible that they can and just let the wrestlers wrestle and do what they can without limiting them?
I mean, that's a tough question because I feel like they don't really have a care about how long they go. I feel like they just say whatever, fuck it, and let's just run it. And they don't want to, cut matches short for the sake of time. But it definitely wears a crowd out. I think the crowd was pretty good throughout WrestleDream. Like we said, we were all pretty impressed by it. But they definitely got fatigued. I mean, you have to. That's a really long show. I mean, we went to WrestleMania, and right before the main event, I believe, they brought out like the Eagles cheerleaders and Snoop Dogg or something. I don't even remember. It was like a fever dream that whole show. But like, we were both like, okay, let's go. Main event time. Like, you get fatigued as a fan and as in the arena, and they really should take that into consideration, but I feel like they just don't care. They're like, oh, we're going to put on banger after banger after banger. So you'll be entertained and you'll sit here for it. We don't really care.
And I guess they do live by, which they smack to everyone. This is where the AEW is where the best wrestlers wrestle, right? And I agree and disagree, but I have to say, like, for WrestleDream, I mostly agreed, man. Like, they put on a hell of a show, but then, which we'll get into a little later, but you watch NXT in that main event, and it just slapped. Like, wrestling has so much competition right now, and I feel like it's such healthy competition where the matches, especially the wrestling focused matches, are really gunning for it. I think they all want to have the best match of the week, best match of the month, best match of the year. And I think there's been 1,000 times people have said, oh, this is best match of the year. And that's been said like 20, 30 times this year already. And we still have like 2 months to go. So it's crazy, but I can't get over, Justin, you mentioned it before, Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takeshita. Like, that match was insane. I know there's people making fun of it, saying like, oh, the no selling is insane. Like, what's happening? But to me, like, I get why people are getting frustrated with the no selling, but it adds a different element to it. When Ricochet got, Legion of Doomed off Takeshita's shoulders and lands on his, feet and hits the like Hurricane Karana, like, that was sick. Like, come on, you can't tell me that wasn't sick.
Yeah. So for me, there were some spots that definitely felt, it was a little too much. Like, just wrestle. Like, we don't need the spot fest here and there. Just wrestle. Just put on a good match. Like, there were definitely some spots that didn't need to be there. But then there was just some spots that were unbelievable, like you said. And the story that the match ended up pushing forward, with the Callis family and Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, like that's going to take that to a whole nother level. I thought, Konosuke Takeshita, he deserves it. He's been on fire. So a few overplanned spots between, Will Ospreay and Ricochet a little bit. Other than that, I thought the match was great.
Yeah, normally I would be like on that, oh, there's no selling and, it needs to be more of a story than just like a complete spot fest. But I think it worked in this instance because these guys they have that same style. They've meshed together so well that you didn't care that there was no real selling, that they weren't putting on that kind of performance, that it was just a wrestling spot performance. And I think it was great match and probably one of the best matches of the night. It was a really, really good card, and they should be proud of that.
100%. And one thing that confused me, but I was also happy with, was Hangman versus Jay White, because we talked about this in our group text, but you have Hangman who just, beat Swerve in that their whole feud is over and comes out on top, and that's like a world championship type win right there. And then he goes to fight Jay White and he loses clean. And I think Jay White needs some legitimacy because he's been, playing like, the funny fiddle with, the Bang Bang Gang. And he's so much more than that to me. And I'm happy he has this win, but logistically, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, especially for Hangman. Because how do you go from that high to just like, oh, you lose this match?
No, it doesn't. And we spoke about that off camera in our group text. Like, how can you possibly go from that grudge match with Swerve, both former champions, to, but we've also, all three of us have said that we need to see more from Jay White. Jay White was such a top dog with the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling that all of a sudden he came back over to, then he came back to, or didn't come back, but, debuted with AEW. And then he kind of, like you said, became a joke with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang and Bullet Club Gold. Like the whole Bullet Club Gold thing just kind of, it's not hitting for me. It feels like a phony knockoff, honestly, of the legitimate Bullet Club. So yes, Jay White needed a win in his return, but was it really like, should it have been Adam Page that he, that took the loss? Absolutely not, because now where does that leave Adam Page?
Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. I mean, it's kind of a head scratcher there. Why like you said, I see why White needed the win, but why did it have to be against Adam Page? Because now where does that leave him? Like, where does he go from there? And that's a big question mark. The match was great. I have nothing bad to say about the match, but that's where AEW loses me 99% of the time. Why? Everything's supposed to have a reason. There was no reason for that. And it just leaves a big question mark. Unless they fix that question mark, which they don't tend to, it just feels silly.
And I want to get into more of that question mark that we get from AEW, and then we'll get into some real good stuff that happened. Adam Cole returns. MJF's in the ring. Court, what are you thinking when this happens, especially because the way they went about this?
It was wild. I mean, they just completely threw away the Adam Cole as a heel. And I don't know why. I saw a couple of people talking about it and saying that, Cole turned on MJF because he knew that he was a scumbag and he was trying to, show that to the world. And that's why he turned on him and all this crazy stuff. And that now that MJF has come back and been a scumbag, that he doesn't have to be a heel anymore. It makes no sense. None of it made sense. I'm glad Adam Cole is back. Look, he's a great wrestler. He's been unfortunately injured for so long, on and off. I mean, he hasn't been on in forever, like a year. So I'm glad he's back, but just head scratcher, just total head scratcher. I don't know.
Is Adam Cole still with the Undisputed Kingdom? Like, it's so confusing. He came out to his, boom, like I thought that we bring the boom guys were about to come out with him for a second, like I know they're gonna show up soon on AEW against QT Marshall, but it's so confusing because they had such a story that was honestly dragged out because I was there for the reveal, and that was almost I know there was injury, but that was World's End when the reveal happened. And then I don't know because they flipped MJF, and now it's just no payoff. And now MJF is the bad guy for being turned on.
It was such a good payoff too at World's End, and then like we thought the Undisputed Kingdom was gonna like run terror on AEW, and all the people that they attacked now know who it was, and you'd have some feuds, and none of that happened, which to me is insane. Like you had this hot commodity that could have pushed you through till MJF came back, Adam Cole's injury to come through. Like you have guys there that can go, have the talent, can help push this story and keep it alive, and they just ruined it. I was so excited for that story to build, and we got nothing.
Yeah, and like the reasoning just doesn't make sense to me. Like you could easily like have Adam Cole come out with, Undisputed Kingdom and instantly he's a heel. So like why did you even you can have heel versus heel in that regard because you're still gonna have people sympathetic towards MJF in that story itself. Sure, he's a heel, but like Adam Cole's the bigger heel for what he did, for betraying his trust, for turning on him the way he did. Just doesn't make sense. They had such good. That was like one of the better AEW storylines in a really long time, and they just threw it away. They just don't care. I don't get it.
I mean, it's tough because you have the freak accident that leads to the injury of Adam Cole. It completely just killed all momentum that storyline had. And then it's just the whole, now they're flip-flopped. I understand injuries happen and it's unfortunate, but maybe like instead of keeping him off TV, they should have kept it going, with him, like, how he was in a wheelchair and he was in the boot, keep it going that way. Just don't have him off TV for however long it was, it's just, I'm kind of out on the whole feud now.
I agree. And I just wish, like, instead of the way they went about it, like, why not have, like, MJF look like he's going to break, right? Because he's been this huge heel. He was a face, but then he got betrayed, so he went back to his old ways. But then he's seeing the person that caused him to go back to his old ways. So I feel like there should have been some self-conflict shown. And maybe instead of him running away and them getting mad at each other, like, have Adam Cole look, mischievous and just, like, see MJF look all disheveled and maybe have them clash, maybe have them brawl a little bit and have them get broken up. Like that's how I would have went about it. It just, to me, I think there was so many ways they could have done it. They could have done it better. And to have that, like Adam Cole runs in as the face and MJF runs off as the heel, it just was whatever. But one thing I am excited for, which I don't know if you guys are excited for, is hopefully the return of the Hurt Business. And we talked about this in one of our previous episodes, but I would love them to go like global. TNA, AEW, ROH, New Japan, like have the Hurt Business, this global entity, kind of like the Bullet Club, and just make them destroy everyone. You got MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. I forget who they were with on TNA as well, but they tried to recruit Swerve Strickland. Didn't work out too well. But I feel like they could be a menace to Swerve and Nana and get Swerve on their side. I would love it. Swerve and Bobby Lashley at the forefront of the Hurt Business. Give it to me. Make them global. That's what I want.
I mean, that's the move for Swerve. If you want to, like, because we've mentioned, like, with him and Hangman, where do they go from here? He's coming off this loss to Hangman. Build back up, go with the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business was a monumental piece of WWE, throughout the COVID years and whatnot. Like, they still, although they're older, they still are who they are. I like what Swerve said to Shelton Benjamin, saying that like you paved the way for people like me to be able to do what I'm doing, and the respect is there. I think that's the move. Put them together and let's see what they could do. Let them run rampant and put on some good matches. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Hurt Business is a perfect addition to AEW right now. I think it's like Ty said. I think you can expand that however far you want to expand it. It can go anywhere. Swerve definitely. I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, just like imagine he turns on Nana and just gold, just gold. You have it right in front of you. Just do it. Don't like play around with it. Just go for it. Build it up a little bit, and then boom, you got money. You're printing money.
I mean, they planted the seeds for Swerve to go super heel. He told Nana, "You're family. I don't turn on family." The moment he does that, like it's nuclear. Everyone loves Nana. Everyone loves to dance. He can get rid of the dance and say he's done playing around. This isn't funny. This isn't games. If I want to be AEW World Champion again, this needs to be serious. I need to kick ass. I need a kick ass group behind us. That's what I want.
But so like I get the dance too. Like the dance, everyone loves a dance. Yeah, exactly. Everyone loves a dance, but Swerve never did the dance. Like Swerve was always business. Swerve always meant business. Swerve always had that mean mug on his face, like that gangsta, like I'm about to put a syringe through your cheek. Like that's exactly the attitude that he has. So I don't know. Is he going to blame it on Nana and be like, I don't need your corniness like next to me now because I can't take your childish games anymore? Because to me, Swerve has never like joked around. Like Swerve has always meant business, and he stands on business. And he's going to join the Hurt Business.
Yeah, be interesting to see. Seeds are there. Just let them flourish.
And then I want to go back a little bit to where we talked about where kind of like inmates run the asylum kind of way where the matches go long and whatnot. But can we talk about Mariah May and Willow Nightingale getting 10 minutes for the AEW Women's Championship? And this show again went 5.5 hours and they got 10 minutes of that pie. Like this is seeds of like pre-women's revolution WWE kind of treatment. And the funny part is they did pretty damn good for that 10 minutes. I wish they had more time, but Mariah May, like, I am a big fan. I'm a big fan. I love what she's doing as champion, especially knocking off Toni Storm. Like, it's really sent her off in a rocket. But how do you give them 10 minutes of a 5.5 hour show?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's kind of like disrespectful in a way, to be completely honest. But almost my bump of the week was Willow Nightingale hitting the pounce on Mariah May because she went flying. Like that was up there. It was like top 3 for me. But yeah, Mariah May ends up winning. She, keeps the championship around her waist. Long Island takes an L on that one. But for the 10 minutes that they were given, I thought, like you said, they did what they could. Unfortunately, I think for a women's championship match, they should have been given more time.
Yeah, that's still always going to be a problem with AEW is the treatment of like the guys at the top who are close to Tony and the people at the top that are close to Tony and that he marks out over. Oh, you can do whatever you want. You could have 45 minutes for all I care. Oh, you two? Just here you go. Women's championship? That's fine. Who cares? 10 minutes. And it's a 5.5 hour show. It makes no sense. Like you guys said, the match was good. Give him 15. Give him 17. I mean, come on, something. Like, you have to squeeze so much in there, and they still made it happen. But that's just one of the things. Like, I really, really love this show, and they really proved me wrong because I really wasn't even going to really watch it. And the card was stacked, but I wasn't really interested. And then they just do stuff like that. They can't deviate from, their favoritism or Tony or whatever. Like you said, inmates are on the asylum. That's just how it is.
I wish like the likes of William Regal was still there and had like a higher role to help orchestrate that, because they really need someone. And who knows what's happening with Shane McMahon? Haven't heard anything in a while with him. But even him, like, he didn't have the vision his dad had. And like, is he the person to really guide them the proper way? Probably not. Who knows? Shane could prove us wrong. But I feel like they need someone who knows their crap, a Triple H mind, where they're like, we need to wrangle this up. We need to focus, flourish these storylines, make them matter, make people want more from these storylines, and then also give them the best wrestling in the world, because we can do it and we have the talent for that.
Are we set that it's Shane McMahon running the whole John Moxley thing? Or are we still not sold on that?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm torn. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Shane would be. I mean, apart from the Moxley thing, I'm torn. I don't know. I'm 50-50. But as far as him like running anything in AEW, like, he was the guy who went in the Rumble and just wanted to have for himself. He wanted to do the biggest spots, have the biggest, moments. He's very self-driven, just like Tony Khan is. So that's a bad mix for me. Unless he proves, like you said, unless he proves us wrong. But I can't see it. He's just going to be Shane.
So for me, it's tough to like try to pinpoint what I'm feeling with the whole Moxley. It's the Blackpool Combat Club, but without Bryan Danielson, because they murdered him allegedly. But it's kind of like, if they're gonna debut Shane, it's not gonna be on a random Dynamite, is it? It's got to be at a pay-per-view, I would hope. And at this point, I don't know when they do it. Moxley's got the title now. I thought it would have been at WrestleDream. So now they're just kind of pushing it off now. They threw the title in a black bag. So I don't know. It's just.
So let's talk about that, because I was shocked what happened. I did not think Bryan Danielson was going to drop the title like that. Court, how did you feel? Did you think he was going to lose after 48 days? Or do you think it was going to be a little bit longer of a run?
I didn't originally, and then I realized, like, that where do you go from here? Kind of. Like, okay, if he beats Moxley, then where does that leave him in terms of challenger, in terms of where the Moxley, Blackpool Combat Club is going to be? So originally I wasn't thinking that, but I can see why, because it just felt like a closed book on that. I don't think he's done on AEW TV or anything, but I know he's retired now, but yeah, we'll see.
But the one thing they kept mentioning too was it's Bryan Danielson's full-time career that's over. Like, now it was, he was retired from wrestling, and then he was going to wrestle until he lost the championship. But now his full-time wrestling career is over, not his part-time wrestling career. When do we see him back? Does he win the title back from Moxley? Or does he just come back to beat the hell out of the new and improved Blackpool Combat Club?
I think he's off for a while. I read, I think it was Sean Ross Sapp with Fightful. They said that pretty much his main focus now is his family and fixing his neck, because obviously his neck took another beating.
Yep.
So I don't expect to see him back anytime soon. They're gonna, that stretcher is gonna be the last moment, the last memories that we have of him on, professional wrestling television for quite some time. When he does come back, I feel like it'll be in a managerial role with maybe 1 to 2 matches a year tops. There's not going to be another championship run. I think he might I don't know, do like the Avengers almost, and if Moxley's crew is still running rampant, because who knows with AEW, they could just fold next week. Who the hell knows? But if they're still together, I can see, Bryan Danielson kind of grabbing a bunch of Avengers, figures that they've done wrong to, and we can see something that way. But other than that, I don't think we're seeing him on television anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it.
And it's gonna be, in my opinion, it's exciting because I want to know what they're gonna do with that championship now. Why throw it in, the bag and just keep it hostage? It's all things that I'm excited for. And I mean, I guess after getting 2 plastic bags over the face and getting choked out twice, I feel like you don't show up on AEW television for at least 6 to 12 months. I mean, it's pretty rough. They did you dirty pretty bad. Moxley's just not holding back. He's going back to his old antics over there.
Attempted murder twice. What's going on here? And then it was Wheeler Yuta. The turn. I enjoyed the turn by Wheeler Yuta, because where are you going to go after Bryan Danielson loses, because his whole thing was not to turn on him. Then Bryan loses. Now he's retired. Now is it Wheeler against the world? So I liked the turn for Wheeler. It made sense. But then Wheeler had the bag over his head for at least 3 minutes. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, my guys are just out here strangling people.
That's such a crazy spot. I don't who wakes up one day and is like, you know what I'm going to do tonight in the main event? Let's put a bag over their head. Let's just literally try to kill them on pay-per-view, on Dynamite, on TBS or TNT.
Listen,
what?
It's karma, because Bryan Danielson choked out Justin Roberts with a tie on Raw during the Nexus takeover, right? This is just his career in the mainstream sense is coming full circle. He entered by choking out Justin Roberts, and now he got choked out with a bag over his head.
I mean, that's what you get for choking a Justin. You just don't mess with the Justins. You don't do it. Karma's a bitch when you mess with Justins.
You don't mess with the Justins. All right. So usually in this point of the podcast, we go into our bump of the week. But first, we have a message from our first ever sponsors over at Manscaped. Sorry, Manscaped, for those watching. We're all repping the shirt. You see it on the layout. We're very excited, but we got a message and we're going to shout it out. Heads up, boys. And no, not the ones down there, you pigs. Listen up. Forget your balls for a second. They're great. Don't worry. And meet the new MVP of your shower routine, the Scalp Buffer. No, it's not just another razor or deodorant for the Southern Hemisphere. Those are great too. It's all about giving your scalp a little TLC. Let's talk about why this is the only silicone toy you'll need in your shower. And look at Justin's popping his hair over there. But the Manscaped Scalp Buffer is a silicone grooming tool designed to exfoliate the scalp, stimulate blood flow, and enhance shampoo performance for a cleaner, healthier head of hair. First things first, check out these thick silicone bristles. They're 100% antibacterial, no more germs hitching a ride on your head. The bristles gently exfoliate your scalp, and the product helps reduce flaking caused by dry skin buildup. Now, let me tell you, my head is a mess. I have a very, very dry scalp, and this isn't the first, not scalp buffer, but I'll say scalp scraper I've used before, because Jess knows my head is very dry, especially during the dry seasons like the winter. And I've had these hard scrapers that felt like I was ripping my scalp off my damn head. The silicone bristles game changer. It doesn't feel awful. It feels great. I can do this all day. Like, this feels great. I feel like I'm giving myself a head massage. Justin, how did you feel using this thing?
So, fun fact, my wife is a hairdresser. So, lucky me, I had her, the professional. She got in there nice and deep, and it was a massage from the gods. It was amazing. It was immaculate. My hair right now is just, you saw it. It's on another level right now. The silkiness of my hair right now, between that and the 2-in-1, the shampoo and conditioner, my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and like you said, the silkiness of your hair, like I feel soft, smooth. I've been using this for a week now, and I'm excited to like throw the 2-in-1. Sorry, let me get the Manscaped in there. The 2-in-1, scrub it in with the scalp buffer, and it's my favorite new routine I've added.
Yeah, that 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner too is like works really well. I'm a female, obviously, and I use shampoo and a conditioner, and this one's 2-in-1, and I've loved it. I've been using it for a week. It's great. It smells great. My hair feels fresh. I love it. Big fan. The scalp buffer as well.
And
sorry. I also, fun fact, little spoiler. Hopefully my wife doesn't listen to this one, but I came home one night after work, and she goes, "I have something to tell you." And I was like, "Uh-oh, what's going on here?" She goes, "I use your hair and conditioner, the 2-in-1 by Manscaped, and I love it, and I love the smell. The smell is like, it's what's the smell, Ty? Is it cologne?"
I don't know. I feel like I'm walking it fresh out like the barbershop with the way it smells. It smells really good. It smells like a fresh, clean barbershop or hair salon when you first walk in. It smells amazing.
It's perfect.
And the great thing is too about the shampoo and conditioner, I'm gonna read a little something. But the two things that I look for in a shampoo, green tea and aloe. Those things do wonders for my head, keeps it nice and fresh. And this is gonna say on this shampoo and conditioner, the dual action shampoo and conditioner cleanses and nourishes in just one step, containing coconut water, green tea, aloe, turmeric, and sage. The non-greasy multitasking formula is naturally hydrating and rich in antioxidants for a revitalizing look and feel. It's dermatologist tested, vegan, dye-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, cruelty-free, and a word that I can't say free, phthalate-free. Sorry, guys, Manscaped, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not a biochemist, but it's really good, smells great, keeps you refreshed, and paired with the scalp buffer is absolutely amazing.
It's also wife approved, so that's all you really need to know. The wife approves, we're good, we're golden.
It's true, same, wife approved. And like they said, you could pair it with the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner for the ultimate hair care routine. The products are designed to work together, giving your hair the nourishment and strength it needs. And let's not forget the relaxing scalp massage it provides. After a long day, using this feels like a mini spa treatment. It's a great way to unwind while taking care of your scalp. Simply put, the scalp buffer is your scalp's secret weapon. Its antibacterial silicone bristles keep your scalp healthy, maximizes shampoo performance, gives you a soothing massage, kicks the bacteria to the curb, stores away like a champ. Your hair routine just got a serious upgrade. So, with that being said, join the 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped for all their grooming needs and get the scalp buffer. Trust us, it is great. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code REALMARKS at manscaped.com. That is REALMARKS, no spaces. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code REALMARKS at manscaped.com. Now, let's get into the first segment of the night, and that is the bump of the week. For those who voted last week, we have 3 choices, 3 nominations that have been voted for. We had Drew McIntyre getting busted open with the toolbox by CM Punk. We have the Missed Claymore by Drew McIntyre onto the steel steps, and we had Javon Evans doing some crazy flips and the RKO getting missed, but what a crash. And the winner, damn you, Justin, again, back to back to back, now to back winner. It is the Claymore miss onto the steel steps. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to some people on TikTok with the comments. We got backing up Courtney and Javon because I thought Randy was going to snap. That's old Randy. New Randy is a wholesome man, even though Kevin Owens, you better watch your ass because, yes, he's across the pond, but he's coming for you. Then we had Mr. William Scheist saying the Claymore on the steps, easy. Justin agreed with that. It was the winner. And then my boy, Drew Chesney, don't know you, but you're my boy now. Considering he needed stitches, it's definitely the toolbox. But it wasn't definitely the toolbox. It was the Miss Claymore. Justin, congratulations once again for the bump of the week. But now we have some new nominations. And Justin, because you were the winner for the fourth time in a row, I'll give it to you. What is your nomination this week?
Well, first, I just want to say the reason why Court lost is because she's a diehard Giants fan and she agreed with a Cowboys fan. So Court was trying to sell her soul to the legitimate devil in her eyes to try to get a bump of the week victory here. So Court, don't sell out. It's okay. You're going to get one. But back to back to back, like I called, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And going into this week, I'm going to go with a little something from WrestleDream. And I'm also going to go with something that I believe I called this guy. If he's in the match, it's a cheat code. So I'm typing in the XYXYBBBAA to bring up a Darby Allin match right now. And at WrestleDream, him and Brody King put on a clinic, but it wasn't Darby taking the bump this time. It was Brody King. He was up on the turnbuckle, and he got knocked off, fell flat on his back, and we're going back to the steel steps. Cheat codes, guys. Come on. So we have Brody King taking the nice high fall onto his back, onto the steel steps.
I like it, Justin. You're bringing back not only Darby, but you're bringing in the steel steps again. Two keys to victory over there for certain weeks. I see what you're doing. Court, what is your nomination this week?
My nomination this week comes from WrestleDream as well. It was the private party match against the Jacksons. Isaiah Cassidy doing the senton off the entrance stage was just sick. I thought it was, perfect. So that's my bump of the week. And yes, I did sell my soul out to a Dallas fan, but the Giants suck, and Andrew Thomas just had foot surgery, so whatever.
And my nomination this week is Takeshita putting Ricochet through the table off the apron. I don't even know what the hell the move was called, but it was right on his freaking head. And the moment I saw that, I knew I had to pick that for the bump of the week. So you have your three nominations. People, go vote. Go on TikTok. Go on Instagram. Go on Facebook. Go on YouTube. You see the socials down there. For those who are listening on podcast, it is Real Marks of LI on all social platforms. Go and vote. Don't keep voting Justin's damn bumps in. We don't need him to be a five-time. I feel like, Justin, if you win next week, we need a Justin Spinneroonie with the green screen on your back, spinning around for your 5-time victory, right?
If I win 5 times in a row and become a dynasty, I will attempt. I'll remove this green screen and I will step back and I will attempt to spin a Rooney on camera.
There we go. So, I think we just gave the people more reason to vote for you. So please don't, because I want to win, and I think Court wants to win one too. But yeah, go and vote. We want to see. We post it. Justin does a hell of a job making the post for the bump of the week. Kills it. Go show it some love, and we'll see what wins next week. But for now,
I'm sorry. I just wanted to quickly. The voting and the interactions have increased weekly. So shout out to everyone that's, even just giving a comment, even the likes, everything helps, the algorithm, the videos are gaining more traction, more views. So shout out to all you guys. Hopefully we can gain some more followers. Like you said, Ty, seeing all the views and not the follows kind of hurts a little bit, but thank you all for viewing and of course, voting me champion.
And real marks on manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. Just
yes,
saying.
Of course.
So we got Halloween Havoc coming, I think on October 27th, NXT. We had a hell of a show on Tuesday, pretty much setting up for that program. There's, for me, 3 exciting matches coming up. The one, Tony DeAngelis, Obafemi. Match 2, tables, ladders, scares. I am interested to see what happens. I can't see Oba losing twice to Tony DeAngelis. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but Oba is a force to be reckoned with. What I can see is someone coming and returning or debuting to screw him over. That's a big guy that he can feud with. But if Tony DeAngelis wins clean, does he deserve it? Yeah, 100%. I love Tony DeAngelis and the family. But I don't know. Obafemi, I just can't see it. It's like with the whole thing with like Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. Like these are guys that like are brutes. They're decimators. I can't see them losing clean to just like normal wrestlers. It's just, I know it's, I know it's fake. I know it's scripted. Yeah. But to me, like these guys need to be taken care of very cautiously because look what happens in the past with Great Khali, with Umaga. Once they faced John Cena, he destroyed them and they went downhill. And I don't want that for Obafemi. He's a stud. He's a super athlete. He's like, to me, like a Brock Lesnar-esque, like the next like main roster Brock Lesnar that can show up and just wreak havoc on the roster. How do you guys feel about it?
So for me, Obafemi, I feel like you said, he's just a monster. So I don't think that they have anyone coming in that's as big as him, in the men's division at least. So it's a little tough because with Tony D'Angelo, he does have the family. So I do believe that they will get involved. And then like that, I don't think it's going to be clean. Obviously, you have the tables, ladders, and scares. So it's no DQ. It's got to be the family getting involved. I also don't see Tony D'Angelo losing the title that quickly. So it's a very damned if you do, damned if you don't. So maybe Oba gets the call up to the main roster soon. I don't know if there's anything they have planned for him there, or if Tony loses, maybe the family is heading up to the main roster. I feel like whoever loses this match, the loser is heading up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I feel like it's way too soon to take the title off Tony. I feel like he's been flourishing for a while, but let him be champ and let him carry for a little bit and prove that he can be a champion. But it is like a double-edged sword, like you said. How do you make Obafemi, lose twice in a row? And it has to be not clean. The family will get involved. Somebody will get involved. I don't see him going to the main roster, Obafemi, just yet. I feel like he has more to do in NXT and, more to develop just as a character. But we'll have to wait and see. The Halloween Havoc card is going to be wild.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like there's no place for anyone to really move up right now on NXT. Carmelo Hayes, has the SmackDown spot. Braun Breaker's got that Raw spot. They are stacked. Like the rosters for Raw and SmackDown are stacked. They have all their stories going on, especially with Raw being 2 hours right now, without the Netflix deal, with commercial breaks. I feel like they're kind of, losing a little bit of traction on some of their stories because of the shorter amount of time. I don't think there really is room for any of these guys to move up. With that being said, Cord, I agree with you. And Tony D'Angelis and the family, I love them. They're my boys. Definitely got to carry that North American Championship for much longer. But I don't want Obafemi to go to the wayside because I love watching that man wrestle. He's just a freak athlete. And dude, I would love a WrestleMania match between Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. Have them just go at it, and it would be thrilling.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. His name was brought up a little bit. I know we're on Halloween Havoc here, but his name was brought up quite a bit recently on the interwebs, saying that there's been talks with him to come back, and then Sean Ross Sapp, they shut it down. There has been no discussions of Brock Lesnar coming back into WWE ever since his name was brought up in the I'm just going to say trial. And, in the case, I'm not going to get too much further involved in it. But as long as, he comes out unscathed, if they say that he wasn't a part of it, then I would Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be straight fire. They wouldn't even, it would just be, that would kill. I mean, Cody mentioned the beast, slaying the beast the other day. So you never know. I mean, they could say all they want that they're not going to bring him back, but it's always going to be there, that temptation to bring Brock back.
I mean, anything happens. We've seen it. Look at CM Punk. Did we ever think Punk would have come back to WWE as soon as he did? I thought there was going to be another 5 to 10 years before he'd show his face in WWE, especially I would have thought it was going to be once Vince left, which I guess it kind of was. But look at the program him and Drew just had. Who would have thought we would have that magic happen on WWE TV in this day and age? And another thing, I watched someone's promo edit of it, and they put "My Way or the Highway," old school WWE song that they used for the promos back in the day. One of their pay-per-views that I watched in 2000, 2001. It slapped. It was so perfect. That song really hits hard when you get good clips for a promo.
Oh,
speaking of, sorry.
No, you're good.
But speaking of bringing someone back, I saw stuff today about AJ Lee potentially, that they want to potentially bring AJ Lee back. Oh, I would be so there. I mean, it has been over, I think, 9 years, maybe 10 years since she last wrestled. She was on heels with Punk, and she's still good. She's still moving. I would love it. Just, I don't care what it's for. I don't care if it's a one-off appearance.
Yeah, with AJ, I think they pretty much said it's up to her. If she says I want to get back in the ring, WWE's gonna be like, what have you been waiting for? So, let's go. I mean, you got Punk there. It makes sense. So hopefully we see it. I know on Twitter, a bunch of the women wrestlers have been teasing. I think AJ Lee posted something on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And then there's just Roxanne, Bailey, I think Scarlett, just a bunch of, female wrestlers, we're saying, what else is good for this? Getting in the ring. They're pushing for it. And I think everyone should be pushing for it, because AJ Lee back in wrestling would be unbelievable.
And there was a cute video of Punk showing up to the I guess the official release or signing of the Day of the Dead Girl, AJ Lee's new comic. He showed up with flowers with Larry. Cute video. I don't know if you guys saw it. Very adorable. Punk doing Punk things with Best in the World shirt with Larry on it. Beautiful.
Blackhawks hat. Very nice Blackhawks hat that he rocks.
Get that in there, Court. But let's go into, sorry, Punk, love you. Should have the Best in the World shirt on. Got the Manscaped shirt on. First ever sponsors of the Real Marks of Long Island. 20% off. Free shipping and handling with the code Real Marks.
Wait, how much?
Cheap plug. What?
How much?
20% off.
20?
Free shipping. Yep.
20%.
Yep. 20% off, man.
Wow.
It's a great deal. And free shipping with code Real Marks.
Code what?
Gotta go for it. Real Marks.
What?
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 Beer. What?
What?
Real Marks.
What? Whiskey. What? More beer. Sorry, I'm butchering Stone Cold's promo because that definitely wasn't the right order. Anyway, one guy I do want to speak about from NXT who is heading to Halloween Havoc to fight back for the NXT Championship, Ethan frickin' Page. Court, how are we feeling about Ethan Page rematch against Trick Williams, Halloween Havoc?
Dude, man's on a different level right now. He's really, really absolutely killing it. Do I think he's gonna get the title back? No. But I think the match will be killer, and I think the program has been awesome. And he's just been on every level, promos, matches, everything he's doing is just gold. And the guy deserves it. He's been around for a long time, and he really deserves his flowers, and he's getting them. And I'm all about it.
Ethan Page, I think we brought it up, but I really started liking him after listening to his interview with Chris Van Vliet on Insight. So if you haven't listened to that, shout out to Chris Van Vliet and that podcast, because it really showed like the human that Ethan Page was and the work that he's put in. I mean, that guy was a staple of TNA for years. And then, he left, he bet on himself, went to AEW. He had a little thing going. I forget what the guy's name was, but it was with like Paige Van Zandt and all them. And then it kind of just floundered, and he wasn't getting what he thought he deserved. He left. He booked a bunch of indie shows because he's got, family's got to eat. And he got the job with WWE. It's been his dream, and he is taking off, and he's been incredible. He's been nothing short of incredible since his debut on NXT. The character is perfect, and I truthfully hope I hope he beats Trick Williams. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I really, really, really hope he does.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but I can't believe the man's aura, how like creative, how great his character is, his in-ring work. Like watching him on AEW and then now in NXT, it's like a completely different person. And WWE saw that potential. They literally gave him the reins and spent no time in giving him the NXT championship. Trick Williams won that title after, that huge feud that he had going on with, Carmelo Hayes and everything, which was huge for him to, coming on top of that feud. He beat Dragunov, right? Trick Williams for the NXT championship.
The first time?
Yeah, the first time.
No, wasn't it Carmelo Hayes?
I don't think it was. Let me.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not too sure. I know he had the feud with Carmelo Hayes, and then Carmelo went to the main roster. But
I'm forgetting. But anyway, Trick Williams had this like epic rise. It was against Ilya Dragunov, where he won the championship. But like he had this huge rise, huge program with Carmelo Hayes, comes out on top, beats Ilya Dragunov for an NXT championship, and then Ethan Page comes in and literally steals the championship in a way that was so beautifully written, where he just gets knocked out by Trick, falls for the cover, gets the win, and then he was just a menace. And the whole is just, it's like it's such a heel move. I love it so much. Him spinning for the Devil's Playground match, knocking out Trick, doing this to end the show. I want him and Cody to have a heel faction together, run rampant. Him, Cody, Jade Cargill, let them just run rampant a little bit, and I would love it so much. It would be chef's kiss to me. I hope the best for Ethan Page. What happens to him after this match with Trick Williams? I hope they don't let him fall under the wayside, but he's just been, to me, a staple of what NXT is right now, and I hope they just keep pushing with him.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I am completely team all ego. Like he's sold me on himself, and I want nothing but the best. I might buy a shirt. I think I actually might buy an all ego Ethan Page shirt.
I love it. So let's get into, we're gonna wrap this up with the This Day in Wrestling segment, which is one of my favorites. And you guys don't know what I'm about to spew out, and I'm excited. We're gonna give some questions out. But this day in wrestling, we got October 18th. Let's see. 1999. Who defeated The Rock and Mankind for the WWE Tag Team titles on Monday Night Raw from Columbus, Ohio?
Oh, jeez.
One guess each.
Defeated the Rocket. So wait, defeated the Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah, man, the Rock and Sock Connection defeated for the title.
I think I got one. I'm gonna go with New Age Outlaws.
Okay, Justin.
It's a good guess. I am drawing a complete blank here. New Age Outlaws is a pretty great guess.
Are you going with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to stay guessless because I don't want to take Quartz. Quartz is a great guess. If I had to throw something out there, I'll just say the APA.
Okay. Well, this day, October 18th, 1999, The Rock and Mankind, this Rock and Sock Connection, lost the tag team championships to Hardcore and Crash Holly.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. Cody's first television tag team partner. Actually, no,
Wait.
Sean Spears, then Hardcore Holly.
How it had to? There must have been something like fluky. There's no way The Rock and Mankind lost clean to Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly, right?
I don't know. I do not have that information.
I mean, there must have been something fluky going on there because the booking decision would just be ridiculous.
Was that when Rock turned on Mankind?
Maybe it was. Yeah.
I'm gonna look back and maybe I'll be able to put it together. But there's no way in hell they won clean. There is absolutely no way.
All right. Well, we're gonna move a little bit forward in time from 1999 and go to 2004, October 18th, 2004, one night before Taboo Tuesday 2004, which if you go back into our archives, you can watch or listen to an Into the Vault Taboo Tuesday 2004, where Court, Justin, and I do a little deep dive, have some conversations and some topics about Taboo Tuesday. It was a bit of a banger. There were some ups and downs. The women's moments were a little on the downside. Main event with Randy Orton and Ric Flair in the steel cage was pretty gangsta. But the night before, there was a main event, a triple threat match. Who was the three people in the match and who came out on top?
Oh my God, these questions are.
But just think about who was on the card. And I'll give you a hint. It wasn't that mess of an Intercontinental Championship decision.
Oh, so it was further. That's where I was going to go.
Yeah. So don't think about any of those people. Think about anyone else on the card, which gives you a little bit less of a decision. And let's hear it.
I mean, I know for a fact one of the members. Shawn Michaels was definitely in the match.
Okay. And who else?
So yeah, what do you got, Court?
No, go. I'm gonna say right now Shawn Michaels, but
all right. So give me the winner. You think Shawn Michaels won the triple threat? Give me that, and I'll tell you who won and what the match was.
All right.
So Court's picking Shawn Michaels as the winner of the main event triple threat match. Justin, out of all the people on that card, who won the match?
I don't think it was this guy, but I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to go with what Court says. I want to try to switch it up. I know there was a significant heel turn that night at the pay-per-view. So I'm going to go with Edge.
Okay. In the triple threat match between Chris Benoit, Edge, and Shawn Michaels, Edge came out on top.
Yeah.
The night before his big heel turn. The night before he became or started to become the rated R superstar. Also, funny enough, there was a 6-man elimination match between Shelton Benjamin, Christian, Jonathan Coachman, Rhino Tajiri, and the Hurricane, where Shelton Benjamin came out on top and surprisingly enough becomes the Intercontinental Champion in the first match on the card against Chris Jericho.
Wow.
Crazy stuff.
History is one hell of a drug.
It really
Sure is.
is. And I'm going to go one more. I'll give us one more blast from the past. A little more recent. We're going to go 2016. This is just a funny one. I don't know if you guys are going to guess this or not. But for the WWE Championship, AJ Styles faced and successfully defended against who?
Oh, it's the dude with the chin. James Ellsworth.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Justin is correct against
Yeah.
James Ellsworth. 2016.
That's when he was with Carmella, right?
It was.
Yeah.
What a character that came out of that. I love the Mella's Money era. I loved her cash in, her reign. Beautiful. Like, so good. And Ellsworth was a great addition too.
I mean, he chimed in on X once Dom was put in the shark cage. He's like, I know how you feel, brother.
That is a wild pull. I can't believe you pulled that. That was not in my head.
I just remember AJ having a championship match against James Ellsworth. I was like, what is this booking? This is the most ridiculous booking I've ever seen in my life. Like, but hey, it stuck in my head, so it must have done something.
Vince was like, oh, this is good shit. This is really good shit.
Such good shit.
Oh, man. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in as always. Make sure to go on the socials at Real Marks of Long Island. Vote for the nominations for Bump of the Week. And do not let Justin win because we do not want to see a spinneroonie. Kind of we do, but I don't because I want to win one. Make sure to check out manscaped.com. Use the code RealMarks. You'll see it down below scrolling around. It is REALMARKS. No spaces for 20% off and free damn shipping. You can get things like the 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. You can get the scalp buffer. It is great. It will make your hair feel amazing. And it induces some blood flow. It really helps rejuvenate and hydrate your scalp. It's amazing.
I have the lawnmower, so I'll contest. Like, that thing's perfect. I love that thing. So shout out to the lawnmower as well. And that's not even a product that we're supposed to be sponsoring right now, but Manscaped lawnmower, chef's kiss.
We're at 5.0 right now. Go check it out. You got the light. Do you have the light on there too?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
I got it all. I got it all, brother.
He's got it all. Nice and clean down there. No hair down there. All right. As always, thank y'all for tuning in. Give us your thoughts and comments on everything we spoke about. Everything within WrestleDream. With Halloween Havoc coming up, Raw, SmackDown, hey, TNA, ROH, New Japan. Give us your thoughts. Give us things you want us to talk about. We're here for it. We're ready. We want to listen. Make sure you use that code RealMarks at manscaped.com. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Real Marks out.
Peace.